Welcome back again to our channel, Cloud Institution. And today in this session, we are going to see what is Terraform tfvars. Okay, so there is something like some very important concept like so how are you declaring the variables, right? So in the last session, if you don't follow, then you have to see the previous session that how are you going to declare the variables in your Terraform, and then in this session we are going to see how are we going to declare that dot terraform that terraform.tfvars. Okay, so this is kind of extension. What are we going to see here? Okay, so with this one we are going to see like how are we going to declare the variables and how are we going to use this one. Okay, so let's dive into the demo. All right, okay, so this is what kind of a very simple Terraform script that is going to be creating EC2 instance. Okay, so this kind of AWS instance. It's kind of a web. Okay, in this our last session we have seen what is Terraform variables. So in the Terraform variables we are declaring AMA ID is going to be string, and the string default variable is going to be this one. Okay, as you can see here the AWS AWS instance, the AMI is going to be var.AMI ID, instance type is going to be var.instance type. Okay, so everything is good, it's working perfectly. Okay, so now I'm going to do Terraform plan. Okay, it's working fine now, right? Now, excuse me. Now this is working fine because we have given a default value over here. Okay, so what happened if I go and comment it out the default variable? The default value, whenever you comment it out, is going to be giving me, okay, this is asking me that uh, asking me to give the inline variable, right? Which means that so I don't know what is the value for this one. So please give me. Okay, then I have to copy this one. Okay, it's good, and it's going to be doing this one. Okay, so now what is the advantage of having the default value? Okay, so default value is going to be this one. So if you are very sure that so your default, by default your instance type is going to be this one. Okay, the t2.micro, you can just mention in the module, okay, or in the Terraform code. Okay, and here also, right, like you can also by default you can just mix this a AMA ID. It should work. So the problem now is that whenever you mention a default value over here, okay, so if you create a module out of it, every time you have to change the module. Okay, so in the real-time organization, right, like if you're going for a bigger companies, so they ask you to write some kind of a Terraform code which is generic. Okay, so there should not be having kind of hard-coded values in the modules. Okay, so whatever the values, what are you going to pass? Okay, it has to be outside of the modules. So the reason being, whenever you're just making some kind of changes in the modules, you have to create a new tag version. So every version will be getting a new tagged version, so that the version keep on increasing for each and every values, right? So that is the reason why we should not be giving a default values. If you really the thing that the default value is going to be this one. So for example, now for each of the instances, so I have mentioned like AMA ID is going to be AMA ID is going to be this one. It's going to be this one. Okay, now so it's all working fine. Okay, so now it's all working fine. You should be deploying it. What happens if I can go and change my default region to AP South 2? Okay, so now previously it was just AP South 1, and now it's going to be AP South 2, but I defaulted my Terraform variables to pick up the same ID of this one. Okay, so what happens now? So Terraform plan is giving me a invalid region. Okay, so AP South 1, okay, AP South 1 2 is not the proper region. Maybe I can just go with AP South 1 is the region. I can also go with US East 1. US East 1. Okay, this is kind of this kind of region where I wanted to provision this instance. Okay, so if you can do a Terraform plan, okay, it's not going to give me any errors. Okay, so it's going to be picking up the same ID. But the problem is when I do Terraform apply. Okay, so Terraform apply. Okay, if you can yes. Now, what this Terraform will do is it's going to create that instance, but it's going to be checking that AMA ID. So this AMA ID is belongs to AP South 1 region. Okay, but this is not belongs to US East 1, which means that you cannot hard code the any kind of a default variables in your code if you really think that that value can be changed for a region to region. Okay, so that is the reason why you should never be hard coded any kind of a default variables. Okay, so then how are we going to do with this one? Okay, so now I'm going to change it with this one. Okay, I'm going to do a variables and sorry providers. I'm going to change to AP South 1. It's all good. Okay, so now if we do Terraform apply, then it should be successful, right? Like everything will be working as expected. Okay, so everything is good, fair enough. Now, okay, I don't want you to hard code this value over here. Okay, and also I don't want you to see the the prompt. For example, if you do like this one, if you can do Terraform apply, it's going to ask me that the prompt saying that enter the value. Okay, I don't want you to see this one also. So that is the reason why we are Terraform has been introduced, the one of the very important concept. Okay, that is called, okay, I'm going to delete this one, and sorry, I'm going to comment this one out. Okay, I'm going to create a new file called terraform.tfvars. Okay, so what is terraform.tfvars? Now I've just if you go to variables.tf, have the default value, right? What I'm going to do is that I'm going to copy this AMI ID and then I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to copy this one. Okay, the AMI ID is going to be variables, and then this one, this is what the AMI ID is going to be. Okay, so now Terraform, Terraform, this one. Okay, the variables is there. So now I'm going to instance type again, and I'm going to copy this one and putting it over here, saying that okay, instance type is going to be okay. Sorry, instance type, it's not the codes. Okay, instance type is going to be okay, and t2.micro. All right, okay, fair enough. Now if you do Terraform plan again, okay, it's not working good because we already deployed it. If you do Terraform apply, okay, it looks good, right? Terraform apply is not giving me any kind of errors. So why it's not been giving any errors? Because the terraform.tfvars, and how Terraform works is that so first of all, it's go and check whether the variable is having default value. Okay, so if the default value is not been present, then it's going to be taking up from the, it's going to check whether the Terraform, it's going to check whether the terraform.tfvars is is present or not. Okay, so then if it is present, then it's going to check whether the variable is being present over here or not. Okay, so it's going to check whether this variable is present. For example, I'm going to comment this out, this variable. Okay, I'm going to do Terraform apply again. See, it's asking me that instance type is going to be requiring. So this is what kind of a terraform.tfvars. What is the terraform.tfvars will be doing is that it's going to take all the variables whatever you wanted to pass to the Terraform. It's going to be it's going to be it's going to be the default values um, for your Terraform code. Okay, so if you want any kind of variables to be mentioned as a whole, right? For example, if you have kind of hundreds of Terraform variables has to be deployed here. Okay, so you have to kind of give all the variables over here in a single place where you don't need to modify your Terraform variables at all. I mean Terraform modules at all. Okay, Terraform variables should be constant. Okay, even though if you remove this one, okay, if you remove this one, and this is how it's going to be a type is going to be string. And also you can just also give the description of this one. Okay, ds, okay, description. Okay, so you can also give the description like say AMI ID, and also you can give the description for this one as well, saying that instance type. Okay, it's not gonna make much kind of difference. Okay, so instance type, or you can just give any kind of a description, okay, whatever you like. So now if you go for Terraform variables, so Terraform tfvars, if you can give kind of for this one, if you can go do Terraform apply or Terraform plan, this variable is gonna work like a charm. Okay, let's do Terraform destroy also, and Terraform destroy. Okay, it's going to delete all the Terraform destroy. If you're going to delete all the instances, whatever has been created by Terraform, then it's destroying, right? So now, if you do Terraform plan again, it's going to start from the fresh and it's going to pick up all the Terraform variables from here. Okay, so now I want to show you something little extra. Okay, so let's give some time to destroy it completely. So you may ask you some question, So the question is that, so is the Terraform, why is that Terraform .tfvars has to be in the same name format? Okay, why? I mean, is it something like, we can just give some kind of a different names? For example, if you can give kind of a Terraform instead of, okay, now I do Terraform plan again. Let's see, I was working Terraform plan. Okay, looks good. Now, if you can go and change the rename to the file called, so instead of Terraform, I'm giving Terraform 1.tf. What? So, do you think it's gonna work? So this complete variables, this complete file is not working. Okay, sorry, this complete file is not working. Okay, so now if you can give yes and yes, it's not going to be taking up anything. Okay, so it's just giving a default null values, right? So the problem is that the file extension always has to be terraform.tf, not the terraform1.tf or anything else. Okay, that's the default format where the Terraform will be picking up your all the variables in one place. Okay, so that's what called terraform.tfvars. Okay, hope this video was very helpful for you guys. So if you like this video, you can subscribe this video, and we are going to see more kind of a Terraform videos in the future. Okay, so please follow us. Okay, so we'll see you on the next video.